Today, Scarif will be completed. After 4 months from starting the Building Scarif in LEGO series, I will finally be able to show a final product that I am proud of. Welcome to the finale of Building Scarif in LEGO. I wanted to start off the video with a haul from Bricklink. So I have 3 packages, but 2 are currently here and I'm still waiting for the other one tomorrow. So I'm gonna show you guys the 2 that I have now, which are parts, and then the third one, which is minifigures, only one of which is actually for Scarif, but I think it's still cool to show you guys what I'm getting for future projects and everything else. So the first store I ordered from was that Brick Lady, and this was the smaller order of the 2. So here I got a bunch of leaf pieces, water pieces, smaller detailed sand pieces. So the second package is the bigger one, and let's see what we got here. Alrighty, so we have so many parts. I think in total I got another 200 to 300 parts for the build. So yeah, that's the haul, and now I'm going to be moving into a time lapse of me just making small corrections and finishing some things off that need to be done, like the communications tower. I'm going to color swap with these parts here, and then for the water area, I'm going to finish tiling it off and making everything finalized, so then we can start placing the water at the end of the video. I started putting those new pieces to use by tiling off the rest of the water section, which went by smoothly. Until I realized I messed up with the blue translucent plates and had to tear it up to start over. I had to make sure this new section matched with the original section so it not only looked cleaner, but made sense in the rest of the build. After tiling the water and fixing the shore, I turned my attention to fleshing out the final base plate. There was a lot that needed to be done in order for it to catch up to the rest of the mock. I started by laying down filler brick to raise the beach to match the surrounding plates. After that, I decided that a live stream would be a good way to show the progress that I was making on the mock, so I streamed me finishing the beach, while making sure it looked good and merged well with the shore and water. After finishing that, I moved on to the trench in order to finish it and blend it into the beach. I topped everything off by mapping out the turret outline onto the finished beach and ended the stream, which I considered a success. If you are currently enjoying this video and want to see more content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It does not only help the video do better, but it allows for me to know what videos you guys want to see more of and what videos you don't want to see more of. We are in the final stretch for completing the mock. There's still a lot of things that need to be done though, like placing the water at the end, doing this grass part to connect to the other grass part, to building the turret, the bunker, filling in the gaps in the landing pad, etc, etc, etc. So we're gonna just do all of it like right now. I'm gonna start with the grass and then move on to the bunker and check in after the bunker because there are things that I need to explain with it. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So it's now the next day and this is the third package that I have. So let's get into it. So here we have, the main reason why I ordered this was this damaged stormtrooper. The store also said that they had 2 of the normal 2014 stormtroopers, so I picked up 2 of those. However, I got an email the day that the seller was packing shipments, and he said that he didn't actually have them. He made the wrong listing. So he asked me if I wanted a refund, and I said no. Can I exchange the figures for something else? So I ended up getting 2 Senate Commandos for the clone army, which I know they're not technically clones, but I'm gonna include them in my clone army. And I got a pilot battle droid to add for the droid army, and then I also got these 2 black candlestick pieces for either custom guns, turrets, whatever, just as extra detail pieces for the mock. So let's get into building. The bunker wasn't easy to make. While it utilizes simple techniques, it was hard to capture the angles from the reference photo. After a lot of time and messing around with the design, I finally was able to capture the walls the way I had envisioned them. Moving on to the doors and the roof was another process. I struggled to find the best way to capture the roof and doors, but opted to just connect them and install them together, which worked well. While this isn't what I was hoping for because I wanted the doors to slide in and out, I found it worked better because there was more structural stability. I knew from the start that I wanted to inlay details into the roof to create more depth throughout it. I was able to do that with plates supporting the brick underneath the roof, which would be hidden in the interior of the bunker. Finally, with a lot of consideration and attention to detail, the walls are able to fall into place because of the angle of the front walls in front of the door, which provides support and was lucky to avoid any gaps, unlike the landing pad. Here is the completed bunker. This has taken so long to actually do, but I'm really happy with how it came out, as with everything in this mock. I was gonna tile it off, but I actually don't have like any light bluish gray tiles, and I was gonna add details, but in the picture it's actually pretty flat and like clean. So I didn't wanna like veer off from the polished look too much. Other than that, we're just gonna keep moving on and powering through, but there is an interior. I have gun racks in place on both sides. Again, could not be happier. All we have left is the water, the turret, and the foliage, and the border, which sounds like a lot, but we're gonna get it done. So let's head into the turret. The turret, like everything else while finishing this mock, was frustrating because I wasn't able to figure out how to line up the exterior panels. I landed on a design that I was happy with, and I was able to add a lot of detail to it by scraping together the remainders of my light bluish gray tile, and I was very pleased with the final result because of the detail I was able to include. Not only were the guns exactly how I imagined them, but the blaster effects that will be added on later fit perfectly to enhance the build tremendously. So the turret is now fully completed, and I'm very happy with this. I mean, the hatch can open and close, the guns can go up and down, and obviously the technique I used, the panels are all coming out and just fall in, rest right there. I'm gonna leave the hatch open because there's gonna be a gunner sticking out of here, and this can move if I can. It's very stiff. but it can move. So yeah, I also decided to do some greebling. I know I said in the previous clip I didn't have any tiles, but I actually ended up finding just enough to cover up this turret. Just scrape up the leftovers of what I had. So now we're gonna move on to foliage and the water. So let's get into it.
The foliage was an interesting process because I wasn't sure how to go about adding the plants together to make them mesh and seem like they all belonged. Since I never did anything with foliage to this scale, it was a huge trial and error process. After trying a technique using 1x2 round plates that I wasn't happy with, I realized that just randomly scattering leaf and grass pieces would work not only to look better but to save on pieces. In order to give myself a break from the foliage work, I began working on a design for the palm trees. For the trunks, I'm using a combination of the original palm tree trunks from the LEGO Pirates theme and stacked 1x1 round bricks in dark brown, brown, and reddish brown. For the leaves, I decided to use a torch holder in order to accommodate for the amount of leaves per tree. Then I proceeded to manipulate different leaf combinations with varying amounts of lime green, bright green, and green to capture the look I was after for each palm tree. And that marked the palm trees complete. After finding a layout I was happy with, I pushed forward with it until I had completed all 3 sections. On the edges where the sand meets the grass, I used a classic LEGO grass piece. On the green patches of plate, I added a combination of leaf pieces, open 1x1 studs, and the 3 leaf stems. Where the grass became darker, I used a variety of different plant pieces in order to make the foliage appear denser the further in you traveled. I achieved this using the 4-leaf 1x1 round brick and the 3-leaf 1x1 round brick, both of which I never thought I'd ever use in a build. To finish the foliage, I added vine grass pieces in olive green to add to the density of the forest. Overall, I had a lot of fun exploring this kind of building and would love to do a build that requires more of this in the future. It's time for the water. Now, it's also time to tell a story. As you'll see in the time-lapse, the technique I'm using is extremely precarious and requires a lot of balance because all of the tile is up on its side. Let's just say it took longer than I thought it would. To speed things up, I decided to use a mixture of tiles, plates, and cheese slopes throughout the water, and it turned out really well. To finish off the water, I added blue energy effects throughout it to make it appear like there was blaster fire toward the water. The final product was totally worth it, as you'll see after this clip, and the frustrations and struggle paid off for sure.
So now the water is finally completed, and as well as the border, and we got some little details, sneak peek. Here's a little sneak peek at the rest of the mock. You guys are gonna see it fully completed in about, I don't know, a minute, less than a minute, because I'm gonna do a time lapse of placing the characters and the vehicles around and just finalizing a few things, adding a few little details, and I cannot wait to show you guys. So without further ado, let's finish the mock.
While setting up this mock, I wanted to use as many minifigures and vehicles as I could without overcrowding it. I have plans for mocks in the future, but I don't think I'm going to be building any large-scale mock dioramas in the future, which will be explained later in the video. That being said, if you have any suggestions for mocks or dioramas that you'd like to see, leave them in the comments below, and I'd be more than happy to take a look at them. Finally, I wanted to thank everyone for supporting this series. I had a lot of fun making this mock and producing this series for you guys to watch, and I really hope you've all enjoyed watching these videos just as much as I've enjoyed creating them.
So what's left for Scarif? Nothing. I'm done. I'm super happy to be done. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but whenever I get to the end of projects, I'm just like,
come on, like I gotta feel like I gotta keep motivating myself. And this is really doing this as content has really helped me with that, because knowing that you guys are gonna enjoy the content that I produce means the world to me, genuinely. And I know I'm still a very small channel, but as I grow, I hope that you guys stick along with me and grow with me. And as I learn, I hope that we can learn together, because I learned a lot in this process. I learned budgeting and part usage techniques, minifigure placement. I learned so much just from this semi-large scale build, and I want to continue that, because what doing these builds helps me learn so much, not only about building and like varying techniques and diversity, like different types of building, but I learn a lot about myself, and I learn about a lot about you guys in the process of this, because like through comments, like interaction, live chats, whatever it is, I like interacting with you guys and learning more about you guys learning more about me. So I like the sense of feeling connected to you guys, and because I'm such a small channel, I feel very connected to my audience right now, and that's really great for me to feel. So thank you, I really appreciate that. I do hope you guys enjoyed this series. There probably won't be another one until years down the line, because there's no way I'm gonna make a bigger mock. I was barely able to fit this one on a table that I used to film, so it's gonna stick around though. There will be other videos using it, some way of destroying it next summer. There will be some video of destroying Scarif somehow. Maybe, possibly, I don't want to promise anything, but possibly exploding it. We're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, that's all there is to say. I will see you guys in the cinematic video. So the cinematic and the showcase video are gonna be combined. And then there's the time-lapse video. And that's Scarif. So this is the finale, and I am marking Scarif fully complete. There will be two versions of Scarif in the cinematic, one with the U-wing and one without the U-wing, because I'm not sure if the U-wing takes away from the mock itself at all. Because certain parts are necessary with it, like the turret shooting at it makes sense, but it also blocks a lot of the view. So we're gonna do two cinematic versions and see what works. And that being said, this series is over. If you did enjoy the series or any of the videos that were a part of this series, make sure to leave a like. And if you really enjoyed the series and want to see more content from me, make sure to subscribe. I would love to see you guys again in the comment section, interact with you guys more, whatever it is that you guys want to do, feel free to do it. And with that, I hope you all have a safe and wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one.